Shit. Oh, 4 days to go. Man, make sure you drop that like button, man. Make sure you drop that like button. Let's go. That like button. Get comfortable. 4 days to go. Let's get it. Let's get it. You know what it is, man. You know what it is, man. 4 days to go. It's been a long, long journey. And I can't tell you, I can't even explain or gather words to tell you how excited I am for Saturday night. I've been creeping low, watching videos as I go. Hey, shout out to Specific Volume. I just put a rhyme together right there on the fly. You know what I mean? But look, man, for real though, um, it's fight week. I told you guys that the whole week is dedicated to Fury Wilder. Everything else is put on pause until after Saturday night. I got a lot of other videos in the vault. Uh, got a lot of Caleb Plant and Canelo and whatnot. But it's all in the vault, man. We got to pay attention to what is going on here, and that is Saturday night. And I've heard all the shenanigans about Teofimo Lopez and all this different stuff, man. I'm not allowing any distractions at the moment. What we got on Saturday night is obviously a massive trilogy fight. And then, of course, and a really good undercard as well. I mean, it's just a good card all around. And boxing fans in general, I don't care what side of the aisle you stand on. Boxing fans have been owed this. We deserve this. So make sure that you tell your aunties and your uncle and your cousins and your grandma, your grandpas, everybody needs to witness history in the making of two heavyweights going at it, man. This is literally history. Like, there's no other way to cut it or slice it. Like, this is some, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Thriller, and Manila type stuff right here. This is stuff that we are going to tell our grandkids about. Or maybe you already have grandkids and you're going to tell them about it after the fight's over. You know what I mean? But this is something that we're going to be talking about for a very long time. Mark my words. I do real quickly want to take notice to Mario Holland for jumping in here right away and becoming an official member of the channel, bro. I appreciate you. The support means more than you know. And welcome to the conversation and welcome to your perks as well. Custom emojis, exclusive videos to members only. Congratulations, man. I appreciate you. In the meantime, something that I got to do every single time because people take the time out of their night to come over to Devon Sense and hear what he's got to say when it comes to this fight. So first off, let me go ahead and give a shout out to Yave. What's good, my man? Haven't seen you in a while. I know you've been busy out there grinding, working, trying to make that money. I understand. I feel you. I'm glad that you're able to make it tonight, though. We got Black Alpha in the house. My main man, Antoine Richardson. What's good, my man? I appreciate you. Fred Rose, Andrew Charles, Trick Boxing. I appreciate you dropping by tonight. Thank you. Dwayne Price, number one Packers gamer in the house. O. Williams. Good to see you. Omega Red. Fellow veteran. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for dropping by tonight. We got Felix Garza. He's always in the house. You can always rely on my man, Felix Garza, to come in and leave his commentary. We got the one, the only, and the beautiful Deanna Branch in the house. Always much love and appreciation to my homie, Deanna Branch. We got Specific Volume. Like I said, man, y'all go check out his channel. He's got a channel out here, man. He drops a lot of content. He's an artist. Go check him out, man. He's made some really nice tracks for Wilder and this whole fight, and he's put a lot of work out there behind the scenes. Make sure you go check out my man Specific Volume. Black Superman, if I haven't mentioned you yet, we got Black Superman in the house. Devontae Moss, I see you out there hitting me up on IG. Not hitting me up, but following me on IG, liking my content, bro. I appreciate you. Devontae Moss in the house. El Jefe, that's right, inching closer and closer. KSI, what's good, man? Thanks for dropping by tonight. Mario Holland says, what up, Devon? I'm new to the channel, and I just became a member today. Love your content. Support you, bro. Salute. Yeah, man, I appreciate you. I saw that, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. SM, dropping in those custom emojis. Mike from Michigan. What's good, my man? Always good to see Mike from Michigan. Just boxing. Let's cook. Absolutely. Big Texas ATX. Cletus Smith. Man, I'm going to get that right one day, bro. I'm going to get it right one day. I appreciate you stopping by, Big Texas. Joshua Sawyer. What's good, my man? Thanks for dropping by tonight, man. I've seen you in a few other lives. It's always good to see you. Just dropping through here. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Deshaun Thompson. longtime subscriber of the channel, man. I appreciate you dropping by tonight. Corey Deron in the house as well. Man, we got a stacked crowd tonight, man. Stephen Mayers says, I'm coming from New York. I appreciate you, bro. Love people from New York. Deanna's also from New York. Stand up, New York. Yeah. Yeah. Force. What's good, my man? Salute, 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 salute to you, sir. Make sure you guys come in. Hit that like button right off the bat. Don't waste any time. Get your jab out there in front. Jab that like button. In the meantime, if you're chilling at home, go ahead and share this live to friends and family. Get them involved. Get them a part of the conversation as the voice continues to grow. You know what I mean? El Jefe, what's up? He says, man, this is a 50-50 fight. I have no idea who's going to win as the fight gets closer. Well, you need to get your confidence boosted up, El Jefe. It's time to get your confidence boosted up. But we got you. You know what I mean? We got you over here in Divine Sense Boxing. Alfred, man, what's good? Always good to see you. Always good to see you, Alfred. I'm telling you, it's always good to see you, Alfred, man. Don Shota 24. What's good, my man? Thanks for dropping by as well. KSI says, I got 100. I got a hundo on Wilder. Hey, I'm telling you right now, all jokes aside, people are about to make money on this fight. I'm telling you, people are going to make money. If you put big money on Deontay Wilder, I'm telling you, y'all can just get your shopping list ready right now. You know what I mean? Have your shopping list on standby, ready to do some work out there on Amazon or wherever you do your shopping, man, and you know, reward yourself for, first off, making the right bet, but, you know, being steadfast in your dedication. You see, man, the fight inches closer. People start getting jitters. People start getting a little bit nervous. Like, man, I was going for Wilder, man, but I don't know. Hey, Fury says a lot of stuff, man. Fury says a lot of stuff. You know, he knows how to sell a fight. He knows how to sell himself. Don't get it twisted. He is a salesman. But as we know, you know, most salesmen, you know, they tend to be, you know, pathological liars. They believe their own lies. But, you know, I don't want to go down that road because they say, come on, Divine, come on, man, you haven't even started your live yet, and you're already talking bad about Fury, bro. I can't help it, man. I just can't help it. There's just been so much said over the past few months. I literally just can't help it. It just word vomit. It just comes out. Sorry, not sorry. On that note, let me get a little taste of my espresso here as we get started on tonight's live. I have some nice content to share with you. Deontay Wilder did a interview with BT Sports, which I was actually surprised that he did. I didn't expect that. He did an interview with BT Sports. I mean, that's usually on the other side of the pond over there. But he went out his way. Literally, you'll see in the interview, he literally got out of the shower, sat down, and did an interview with BT Sports. So we're going to go through that. I'll give you my reaction. And as we go along tonight, we'll take a few sneak peeks into the grand arrivals. They had their grand arrival today, FYI, if you don't know, in Vegas. Deontay was asked, you know, he was interviewed and Fury was interviewed. And then they went out and talked to the press for a little bit. So we'll go through that. And I believe tomorrow is the main press conference, the last press conference before the fight. And then, of course, we have the weigh-in the day before the fight. 4 days to go. I mean, basically, it's like you might as well just get everything ready right now. You're going to go to bed, wake up, and the fight's here. You know, so shout out to my man, Watcher, dropping in. On that note, I got to hook my man up. The Watcher, for all of his support, not only since this channel has been recreated, but a man who has saluted the channel for over a decade. I'll give my man the mighty wrench. Congratulations, my man, the Watcher. Well deserved, well earned. You've been wrenched up. I appreciate you and all the support, Watcher, for after all these years, man. We got ARTM or Artman Boxing. You said you got Twitter. I do have Twitter. Um, it's just at Divine Sense Boxing. But lately, I've been using the gram a bit more. I've been using Instagram. So Instagram is probably the best bet if you want to get in contact with me. But yes, I do have a Twitter, and I probably will do some tweets during the fight, let you guys know how I stand round by round. Don Shoto. He says, how do I get those emotes? I joined as a member. I don't see that you have a membership, bro. I don't know if you got it before and it expired. But I don't see a membership currently. That's probably why you don't see it. But normally, if you're a member of the channel, there's a little section there at the bottom that says custom emojis. That's where you're going to get all those custom emojis if you're an official member of the channel. Sometimes YouTube does that, man. I don't know if it's because the membership is usually like a monthly recurring payment, and if you take your card off or you don't have your card allowing recurring payments, it may like discontinue it. I'm not 100% sure, but we've had a few other people get blindsided, and they were a member, but then they're not a member anymore. So you want to double check that along the way for all your channels. If you know whatever channel you're an official member of, make sure you update and check that out because YouTube, they be on that. They be on it. So we have a poll at the top of this chat. Make sure you vote in that poll. Simple poll as always. I always like to hear the people's thoughts. The question is, will this fight go more than 6 rounds? So far, 87%. No, it's not going to go past 6 rounds. Wilder's going to win by KO or TKO. We have a few people out there picking through the blinds saying Fury's going to win by KO, TKO. A couple people actually said Wilder by decision. Quite interesting. And the least amount of people saying Fury by decision. I mean, I'll tell you what. In my opinion, rather you're going for Fury or Wilder, obviously I'm going for Fury. Everyone knows that. But even if you're going for Fury, you might as well bet on knockout. I just don't see this fight going 12 rounds, period. I mean, there's just too much animosity, too much bad blood, too much violence about to happen. Too much violence. So that's what I'll say on that. It says, see perks next. Now you got to hit the join button. Yeah, you got to hit the join button. Don't worry about trying to find it. Just go to the top of this chat. It's pinned up at the top. The direct link pinned up. You just hit that link and it'll take you straight into where you need to go to become an official member of the channel. Ricky Williams in the building. What's good, my man? Yeah. So let's get into this. I see everybody filing in. I'd like to take about 15, 20 minutes or so, give everyone a chance to get their notifications to jump in, because I don't want people to miss out. Don't want people to miss out on what Divine Sense is out here talking about. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull up the main event of the evening, which is this interview with Deontay Wilder and BT Sports. Like I said, a bit surprised that he did an interview with them. But I'm going to give you guys my reaction, I guess you can say. It's not too long of an interview. Yeah. Oh, also, by the way, before I forget, I'll probably drop another reminder later on tonight, but before I forget, I have some special news for you. Some special news is that I've been invited on a panel this Thursday night to talk about Fury versus Wilder. I'm probably going to be the only Wilder supporter on the panel, and it's going to be very interesting. I was invited, and I more or less take it as a challenge because, like I said, I stated the obvious. I'm going to be the only Wilder supporter on the panel, I think the objective might be to dismantle my thoughts and my prediction on how this fight's going to end up. So more or less, I've been invited, but I take it as a challenge. So I would say I've accepted the challenge. So I'm going to be on a panel Thursday night with I believe 4 or 5 other dudes on there. From what I know, they're all going for Fury, and so they've hit me up, and I've accepted the challenge. I'll drop the link of the live probably on my community page and my Instagram. So make sure you guys keep a lookout, because I promise you it's going to be nothing but heat. Right? So, like I said, I will drop the link. Make sure you guys follow that. Make sure you guys tune in, because it's going to be predominantly Fury people in there. So it'd be nice to get some Wilder support in there in the live chat that they'll have going on. And for all those people wondering, oh, about Divine, why are you going to get involved with those people, bro? It ain't worth it. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like this. I created this channel, past and present, to talk boxing. And so I don't duck and dodge anybody. And people are going to rummage through YouTube looking for a fight, and they're going to pick Divine Sense when they came to the wrong place. That's all I got to say about that. So we can hoot and holler and talk about many other different topics. But when it comes to this topic, yeah, got to show up and do what it do. And at the end of the day, man, I think it needs to be done. There's been a lot of talk behind the scenes on various different platforms and channels out here, sneak dissing everybody, one side or the other, but more or less directed towards the LDBC. Okay. And I guess I'm just that guy to jump over there and set the record straight. And I don't have any problems doing it. And that's what it's all about. So y'all stand by, man. Thursday night. So let's see. Dave says, why didn't they invite Stormy or Drew? Well, there's a story behind that. I'm not going to speak for Stormy and Drew. If they want to address it, they can. But I don't speak for other men. But what I will say is that there is definitely a story behind why they have it. And like I said, if Drew and Stormy wants to address it, they will. But I think it's a mixture of I've been around for a long time, so they assume that, Divine's a cool guy, and this is a guy that they basically try to use me as an avenue. So we're gonna, well, not we, but they're gonna find out what it's all about. They think that because the panel is predominantly Fury, that somehow I'm gonna be bullied or I'm gonna back out. I don't know if they even thought that I'd even take the challenge, to be quite honest with you. But we got to get that work in right before the fight. It's going to be a nice little appetizer. It's going to be a nice little appetizer, I'm telling you. So, but on that note, Don Shota, I might hit him up. I'll hit these guys up. I don't know if they'll do it, though, to be honest with you. There's some situations. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes, which I don't want to address because, like I said, it's not my place to speak for other people. I don't know if they'll be willing to do it, but I'll drop them a message. But then again, even if they're willing to do it, the hosts of this panel, they're going to have to be willing to have these people on as well. So it goes both ways. But nonetheless, a link will be dropped, and we can keep our fingers crossed that we get some other voices in there other than mine to have like a proper debate. So I'll keep you guys updated, but I will send them a message. So let's get into this interview. All right. And as I always do these reaction videos, sometimes I get up and start ranting and raving, and I'm dissecting what's being said. I get into some, certain type of mind frame, and I go off on a tangent sometimes. So Feel free to comment. As always, make sure you hit the like button if you're new to the channel. I appreciate you. You can't comment yet unless you're subscribed to the channel for a little bit. But if you like this type of content, just the first step is subscribe. Wait the time so you can be able to comment and be a part of the conversation. And Super Chat always helps to highlight so I can address your comment and or question as we go through the reaction video. Black Superman. I'm not sure whose channel is going to be on exactly, but the panel's more or less going to be HCP, which is G Funky, D Style, Maestro, and possibly a few others. I'm not sure whose channels are going to be on officially, but it's going to be that panel. But like I said, man, I'm going to drop the link on my community page, probably like Thursday afternoon or something like that. So you guys can go click that link and go directly to it. All right, let's get into this interview.
Like just seeing you the last few weeks, you just seem very calm, like at peace with yourself, more so than maybe the first two fights. Is that fair?
Most definitely. I'm very calm. I'm very peaceful. I've always been. I'm even more so now than ever. And just ready to go. I think that's the thing. I'm just ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, when I say you're calm, we obviously still know that Bronze Bomber's waiting there to go on Saturday night.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be a great show while it lasts. And the preparation for it has been amazing. And my whole team is hyped. Everyone is hyped. We talk to each other at least 10 to 12 times a day, talking about certain situations. Sometimes it'd be the same thing because we haven't gotten enough of the first conversation. So, the way this seems like it's almost over. I think it's 8 days away. And
let me just address this real quick. Notice how Deontay said, for as long as it lasts. I'm glad that he sticks that into the side of Fury fans a little bit. Watcher says, oh God, good luck with them, Divine. Look, Watcher, I've been around long enough. I know what I'm getting myself into. But like I said, it needs to be done. It needs to be done. There's been a lot has been said around these YouTube dinner tables. It needs to be addressed. Yeah, so let's keep it moving.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you mentioned your camp. It does seem like a very, very happy camp. And Malik in there, obviously your former sparring partner. What's he brought to you both sort of physically and mentally?
I made this song in 2 minutes using my MIDI pack.
Apologize for that ad popping up. Damn.
I mean, overall, he just bring his positive energy. He bring his love. I've been talking big about love in my camp, and it's nothing like it. Those 4-letter words to have around you at all times. A lot of people say they love you and don't really mean it. And but when my guys say they love me, I know they really mean it, and I mean it when I reply back to them. And it's nothing that Malik has really taught me. It's just what he could bring out of me that no one else could, in the past. And we're just doing it on a consistent basis, and
I want to address that real quick because it was brought up in the grand arrival, and he was asked pretty much the same question by media in the crowd. If you guys haven't watched it yet, it's up. We'll go through it tonight as well. I'll give you guys my commentary on that as well. But essentially, he keeps being asked about Malik as if he's created this new style. He's had to change his whole regime, and he was this way before, and now he's this way now. And basically, what I gather from it is they're basically saying, are you sure it's going to work? Are you sure this new style that you've created with Malik Scott is going to work? And Wilder probably feels like he's a broken record because he keeps repeating himself and saying, you guys have to understand that it's not that I've created a new self. Like, yes, I'm reinvented, I'm rejuvenated, but these skills, I've always had them. I've always had these skills. What Malik has done is have brought them out of me so I'm able to use them on a consistent basis. This is what Deontay Wilder continues to have to explain to people. And it kind of reminds me of Deontay's his own saying where he says, what is understood doesn't need to be explained. But unfortunately, he's had to continue to explain this. And so there's this real grand idea that, oh, Malik came in and he just recreated you. There's no like recreation. It was already there. It was brought out. And now he's implementing it consistently. And that's what we have to look out for on October 9th, this Saturday. So I just wanted to address that. Let's keep it moving.
It's been amazing camps. This last 17 months has been amazing. You know, all the camps combined together. It's just been amazing. And the more time I've had, the better it's been for me. So it's definitely been beneficial for me.
Yeah, great. You look like you've just come out of training now, have you?
No, it's just getting out the shower.
Oh, fair enough. Listen, you mentioned
getting out the
just
shower.
before we get onto the fight, I just wanted to mention your first born, Naya. For those who don't know, that's kind of the reason you got into boxing in the first place. Just wanted to see how she's doing.
Yeah, she's doing very, very well. She's 16, and she's growing up like any other teenager. She, got goals and got dreams of becoming someone.
Just a real quick personal note. I like when he talks about his family in general. I've liked the things that he's said about his own father and how his father was an instrumental, key player in his life, I guess you can say, which is always great to hear when you hear fathers involved in their children's lives. It makes a huge difference. Also has great things to say about his mother and all of his siblings and, of course, his kids. Always great to hear from a fighter about their love that they have for their family. It's a good thing to hear, especially coming from somebody like myself who came from a broken family, never really knowing who loves you and you have to kind of like find your own way. It's a great thing to hear, especially when you're the heavyweight champ. You mean a lot to a lot of people, and you continue to put out this positivity out there in the world, which a lot of people need. See, this is why Deontay is more than just a big, strong black guy from Alabama who knocks dudes out, who's like the most devastating puncher we've ever seen in the history of the sport. He's such a strong individual with big character and love and positivity. And it's unfortunate that his name has been dragged through the dirt this past year and specifically this past year. But when you tone down the rhetoric, right, and you mute the haters, and you just really sit down and take time to listen about his story and about his life and the things that he represents, the things that he believes in, the things that he holds dear to his heart, I feel like you would have, or you should at least, have more appreciation, not for the boxer, but for the man. And when he's talking about his daughter here, he's saying, she's 16 and she's a young woman now and all these different things. My daughter is 8 going on 9. So she's in that kind of little bit prissy now, little prissy stage. She's growing up fast, man. And when I hear fathers in general, not just Deontay, talking about their teenage daughters, I start to get worried a little bit, sitting on the edge of my seat. But I am a firm believer in a father and a daughter's relationship is so important. And perhaps somebody can speak on that personally here in the chat. But when you have that confidence as a daughter with your father, and you know that he's there. He's your provider. He's your protector. And there's no other man essentially that's going to love you more than what your father will. That bond, that connection is so important, and I have that with my daughter, and I intend to keep it that way. And I feel like it's just so vital and so important. And sometimes the father-daughter relationship can be overlooked sometimes, and I'm so glad that Deontay Wilder speaks on that. And I had just a little bit of a personal note um, that I wanted to share with you guys.
And doing things, in this world, great things in this world, and that's all a father could ever ask. I always tell people that the most precious gift in the world is being someone's father.
Well, as a father, I definitely agree with that. And yeah, like I say, the story for people who don't know is basically it was like you're having to do 3 jobs to try and pay for the health insurance to care for her, and you just thought, well, I'm going to have to do something here, and turns out it was the right decision.
PGH Big Dog, salute, bro. Thanks for dropping by.
Right. I told her when she was 1 year old that I'll be able to support her beyond her belief, and boy, did I ever. And God is good, He'll make a way out of no way.
Yeah, and it'll be nice to go back to those children again, say, Daddy's the heavyweight champion again.
Definitely 2-time in due time, baby.
Yeah, I mean, this is a trilogy fight. It's quite a special thing, isn't it?
Let me just address this question real quick. Where'd it go? LX09, he says, is Wilder the hardest puncher of all time? Even harder than Shaver's Foreman Liston? Well, I mean, harder puncher, is subjective, but Wilder does have the highest KO ratio. So that's what I mean. He does have the highest KO ratio of all time. Second, I believe, is Rocky Marciano. If I'm not mistaken, we do have some historians in the chat. If I'm wrong, correct me.
Really, I mean, you think of the great trilogy fights. I suppose Ali Frazier is probably the greatest of them all. Doesn't happen that often in boxing.
Not at all. I think fans of boxing is getting a real treat with this one. I'm always excited. Every time I step out and enter into the ring, I'm always an exciting show. So, this is a trilogy, and like I said, boxing's winning in this fight, and it's gonna be a good one. Like I said, it's gonna be a good one while it lasts, and I'm just anxious. I can't wait. I can't wait to go. I'm ready. Man, it's been a long time coming. We had to go through so many different obstacles, and it's just been an emotional roller coaster. But we're here, and
y'all can hear that in his voice, right? When he starts talking about how long the journey has been and having to go through so many obstacles, and you can hear it in his voice, right? It's well overdue. You know what I mean? Like he's just so ready to end this chapter. And he says it in the grand entrance interview, which I'll play here in a bit, where he's like, you get into fight week and you wake up Monday morning and you think it's Saturday, and it's not Saturday yet. It's like, damn, okay, we got to wait a few more days. You wake up Wednesday morning, you're like, shit, still got a few more days. So, you get into that fight week and you're basically already in fight mode. Like that final week, you're already in fight mode. It's more of, eating good, staying hydrated. I don't know what kind of work he's doing during the week. Some fighters do things differently. Some fighters, I've heard of fighters doing sparring 1 week before. That's how intense some fighters take it. But most time it's, maybe doing some treadmill work, going out for a jog, doing some rope work. It's just keeping your body fluid because the work has been done. It's more of like maintaining your body. That 1 week is rest and recovery and getting ready for the night. So you have a lot of time. There's a lot of dead space. Other than the media asking you questions, you're in your hotel room, you're with your loved ones, and you have a lot of dead space to think about things and just chomping at the bit. First to get to the weigh-in, and then, of course, to fight night. So you can only imagine what Wilder has gone through emotionally and mentally. Physically, his body is a vessel. He's taking care of that vessel on this path and journey to become the 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. But mentally and emotionally, it's a whole nother story. The amount of turmoil and chaos that he's had to go through. And when he says things like, "This is a long time coming, and I can't wait," you can't put a value on those words. As cliche as it sounds, it's so important, man. You can feel it. I don't know if y'all can feel it, man, but I can feel like he's ready to just rip his shirt off and just punch something. You know what I mean? Like that type of energy and a little bit of frustration and anger and passion and like everything mixed in together is going to be harnessed and unleashed this Saturday night.
I don't think we had to deal with it by ourselves. A lot of people in the world had to deal with it, especially with everything else that's been going on in the world that we've had to share together. So this is gonna be a real treat, Forget bringing popcorn, bring pizza and milkshakes and hamburgers and hot dogs.
and like a couple of weeks ago, it was they're all saying it's over in the UK anyway. Fury v AJ, all the belts. It could well be Wilder v Usyk for all the belts now.
Yeah, most definitely. The Fury AJ talk, it was never going to happen. They never had a contract to begin with. That was all propaganda, and that wasn't nothing I was concerned about because I knew the truth. Certain fans and people just take the first thing they hear without doing research, and they just go away with it. And people want to be first nowadays instead of being correct, and that was the situation.
Huge statement he just made right there. But let me get to Mike Michigan. He says, just a heads up, Russell Mora is the new referee for Wilder versus Fury fight. They also changed one judge out since the July date. Steve Weinsfield replaced Patricia Jarman. Interesting. Thanks, Mike, for that update. I know a little bit about Russell Mora. He's not a huge name in comparison to like Kenny Bayless, Jack Reese, and some others. But I'm going to have to go back and watch some tape and see how he referees fights. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to see his style. Every referee has their own little style and how they ref. And see if that wavers my prediction at all. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. I might make a real quick video about my thoughts on Russell Mora before the fight. Deontay just said something very interesting there. I'll replay it back one more time.
And they just go away with it, and people want to be first nowadays instead of being correct.
Boom. He said people want to be first nowadays instead of being correct. Y'all let that sink in for a moment. People are so concerned on being first and not being correct. That speaks volumes right there. And that is so true with what we are witnessing just right here on YouTube. On the amount of content creators and the amount of hate that has came at Deontay with nothing but emotions, criticism, unfair critiquing of not only him as a fighter, but as a man. And getting those clickbait titles and photos out there and just spewing a bunch of nonsense and BS. Because they want to be first. They want to be part of the propaganda machine. You understand what I'm saying? They spend so much time being first instead of being correct. On that note, I find it ironic, and I'm going to speak about this when I go on the panel on Thursday night to battle the panelists on there about this fight. I'm going to tell them. I'm giving them. They're probably watching right now. Everybody who's going to be on that panel is probably watching right now. Hi guys, thanks for dropping by. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of preview on what I'm going to bring to the table right now. This is how confident I am coming into panels like this. I find it ironic how you guys as in over there on that side, who criticize Wilder and his fans, like to criticize us for being emotional fans. You've even went out of your way to brand us as Wilderettes, Wilder fanboys, and all these different types of labels. And you accuse us of being emotional. Isn't that a bit hypocritical? When you guys over on that side go out of your way to make labels for us, to track through the YouTube streets, to make sure you listen to our videos and our content. Then you make videos to try to debunk our content. You accuse us of being emotional, but then you get emotional when we bring up things like Mark Breland and the things that have happened behind the scenes and the different photos and videos that were surfaced about the gloves. And you guys get so upset. You're pulling your hair out on your videos saying, why are people bringing this stuff up? I'm getting so emotional right now. Y'all accuse us for being emotional when we come on the mic and say, hey guys, this is what I found, man. What do you guys think about this? Put a picture up. Look at the glove. Look at this. Look at that. And I'm not even co-signing accusations. I'm simply saying we bring things to the table, and you guys over there spend so much time and energy trying to debunk and dismantle things that are brought up in relation to the allegations. So again, I beg the question. Y'all ready for this? Put it in gear. What if the tables were turned? What if Wilder's gloves were bending back oddly? What if his knuckles seemed to be protruding through the gloves as if there were no padding? What if Fury came out and didn't have his legs after the first round? What if Fury had a major dispute with Sugar Hill directly after the first fight, then again into the second fight, and then he fires Sugar Hill? And then there was a lot of blame towards Wilder, and people claiming him for cheating, and Wilder putting weights in his gloves and all this other craziness, right? You guys all call it crazy. It's a bunch of craziness. But I beg the question, what if the tables were turned? What would your energy be like? I would surmise that it would more than likely be like this. Something along these lines, and of course I'm paraphrasing. This guy Wilder has never had power. He's been a cheater. He's always been a cheater. The only reason why he's been knocking guys out is because he's been loading up his gloves, bending his gloves backwards. This guy's a fraud. He needs to be banned from the sport. Oh, and not to mention that Fury's popped for PEDs, by the way. Imagine if Wilder popped for PEDs. And then you guys accuse us for being emotional. How does that make any sense? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I guarantee everybody listening that when I get on the panel Thursday night, it's going to be brought up. I'm going to try to avoid it. I'm going to try to talk about the fight. I'm going to try to tell these people why I think Wilder's going to win, because to be honest, that's what I prefer to talk about. But the way these things go, man, it's going to be brought up about the things of the past. So, seatbelts better be buckled, because it might be a crash course. That's all I got to say about that. But I just wanted to pick out that irony. Make sure y'all hit that like button when you first come in if you're new to the channel, and can't quite comment yet because you got to be subscribed for a little bit. I appreciate you, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, wait it out a little bit, and then we would be more than happy for you to join the family here on Divine Sense Boxing and join the conversation. And so, yeah, I'm seeing some comments here. I apologize. Like I said, I don't see everything, but I've seen some comments here about the ref. I'm going to have to go and research him and do my own study and see what I think. But I'm seeing some comments. It's not looking pretty. So, yeah, I just wanted to pick out that little ironic thing that has recently popped up in my head. Aladdin, Saddam, what's good, man? Thanks for dropping by. It's good to see you. All right, Trick, bro. I appreciate you dropping by tonight, man. It's been a minute, man. I'm glad you were able to make it tonight. I appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and continue this interview because it does get a little bit more crispy.
And that was the situation. And one thing for sure, when you put a black ink to white paper, it's sealed. It's called a contract, and it's hard to get up out of that. And as long as I knew I had that contract,
It's hard to get
and
up
we
out
was
of
going to
that.
activate it, it wasn't no worries and concerns about the talk. They just hyped people up for nothing.
And the fight I just mentioned, AJ Usyk, were you surprised at that, the outcome?
Wasn't at all. I wasn't at.
All right, before he gets into the Usyk Joshua fight, let me ask another question for the chat. And for those who can't comment because they're not subscribed and they're hitting the dislike button, I got a quick question. Let's say hypothetically, because I like to do this, I like different scenarios. I like what if scenarios. It's fun. It's entertaining. What if Wilder knocked out Fury in the second fight? There's a contract signed, regardless of whoever the winner was. There's a contract for a third fight. Yes? Okay, we all agree on that. Great. So my question is this. Do you think Wilder would have tried to duck and dodge the third fight after knocking him out like Fury did when he got the stoppage because the towel was thrown in? I had to throw that out there because we're going to talk about that in a little bit about everybody saying Tyson Fury knocked out Deontay Wilder. We're going to talk about that. So hold your horses. But that's a question for you guys. If Wilder knocked out Fury in the second fight, knowing that there's a rematch clause for a third fight, do you think Wilder would have ducked and dodged the third fight like Fury did? And let's not mince words here and play games. Fury not only tried to duck and dodge it and try to ignore it, he actually tried to pay his way out of it. This is an honest question. This is a what if honest scenario, serious question. And if your answer is, you know what, Devon, I think you're right. I think Wilder would have given Fury the rematch right away. Then what are we talking about out here then? What are we really talking about here? And if you say, oh, no, man, I don't think Wilder would want the third fight. I don't think he would have taken it. I think he would have tried to duck and dodge like Fury did. Show me at any point in Wilder's career thus far where he's tried to duck fighters, avoid fighters, try to pay his way out of not fighting fighters and being dishonest. And we're talking about fights, we're not talking about allegations, and we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about leading up to fights and fighting who you're supposed to fight. Show me his track record. Because I'll tell you what, Fury didn't rematch Klitschko. Fury went on a cocaine binge, which Wilder personally pulled him out of, but that's another topic. He has a history of trying to duck and dodge fights, even though he toots his horn talking about, I got all the belts and I'm the greatest champion ever, blah, blah, blah. We've already done a dissection of Fury's resume. It's not pretty. But that's an honest question for you guys. Do you think Wilder would have ducked the third fight if he would have won, not Fury? And not to mention, not too long ago, just FYI, on this live stream, I played a clip of Deontay Wilder after him knocking out Bermane Stiverne in the first round of the second fight. He called out Joshua live in the ring. So he was never ducking Joshua. He obviously never ducked Fury because he's fought Fury twice already and about to be three times in coming this Saturday. And when nobody wanted to fight Ortiz, he fought Ortiz. I know that pisses people off. I know that pisses UK fans off so much. But it's fact.
at all. Malik always talk about Usyk and how skillful he is, and different things, especially in coming from a cruiserweight. He Styles make fights, and he definitely have his struggles. We've seen that in the heavyweight division where he had his struggles with Chaz Witherspoon. He had his struggles with Derek Chisora, but Styles make fights, and with Joshua, um, he just had his number at that point in time, and I think he's going to have his number even more so the second time around. And like he said, it's going to be faster. I think it's going to be a little bit faster as well. So well, who knows? It's boxing at the end of the day. We really don't know until it's time for things to happen.
No, exactly.
Now it's kind of like a little bit of a political answer there by Wilder, which is fine. He doesn't want it. He's probably doesn't want to put too much time and energy in the Usyk Joshua fight because he's worried about his fight coming up this Saturday. But I guarantee you this. Wilder's never thought very much of AJ. I think he's always known for quite a while now that if he fought AJ, he would knock him out. That's why he called him out after he knocked out Bermane Stiverne in the rematch. He made it abundantly clear that AJ, I want the fight. I'll even go to the UK. He even said that. I'll go to the UK and fight you. So I don't think he's surprised one bit that Usyk beat him. One bit. I just want to throw that out there. Shout out to Bernard Gilbert, man. If you're still in the chat, I appreciate you stopping by tonight. Breton, what's good, my man? Blue Belt, was good. Appreciate you stopping by tonight. Try not to miss people, man. I'm just going along here, giving my commentary and my reaction. Was good, everyone. All right, let's continue on. We're almost done with this interview, and then we'll tap into a little bit of the grand entrance by both fighters as well. We'll do that tonight too.
They asked Tyson Fury about that fight as well, and he said that you're the most dangerous heavyweight out there. You beat both of them, and the only man you can't beat, obviously, he's going to say is him.
Well, I've already knocked him out once before. I'm sure he replays that in his head over and over again. That's why he's so brave to say that I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
I kind of find it funny where he's like, you could. Wilder cracks me up sometimes because sometimes he gets asked a question that can irritate some fighters, but it doesn't irritate him because he's like, well, Fury has said, because you know how sometimes journalists and the media, they'll give you a compliment and then they'll end the compliment with either a contradicting question or a question to get a rise out of you. And so he's like, Fury has said that you're the most dangerous heavyweight and you'll beat both Joshua and Usyk. As a matter of fact, he said you can beat anybody except for him, of course, Tyson Fury. And Deontay Wilder literally just shrugged his shoulder and says, well, that's fine because I've already knocked him out once. I find that hilarious. I find that absolutely hilarious. And then he goes on to say, Fury plays that in his mind every day of him having to get off the canvas in the 12th round of the 12th fight, or the first fight, sorry. And it's funny because Wilder says this in this interview, which was a few days ago, and then today in the grand entrance, Fury actually said, and I'll play it later, y'all can hear it. He said that he's been living in Wilder's mind rent-free, and all Wilder thinks about is Tyson Fury coming forward and beating him up. Y'all going to hear it from Fury himself when I play it here in a moment. But Wilder, it's funny because a few days earlier, Wilder says he thinks about me knocking him out every day. I find that kind of funny.
And different things like that, because it's true facts. My famous quote is, guys have to be perfect for 12 rounds. With me, I don't have to be perfect for 2 seconds, and then it's bam, baby, good night.
2 seconds.
And when you have devastating power, God given, you're always gonna be the leader of the pack. We've seen many guys. Some people say skills, but that's just a broken record, because we've seen many guys with skills and they still lost. But when you have power, you're never out of a fight, ever. You know, you can always have somebody that got more skills that can outskill you
especially heavyweight.
from a first to a 12-round fight. But when it boils down to it, it's all about who has the more. Who when you have power, now you know we'll see who. You know, it's a difference between when you having so much power and the other one doesn't. It can get you out of many different things. You know, as people have seen in my career many a time.
Especially at heavyweight.
You know, you have it's damage you do, damage you don't at the end of the day, and it's all about how you use certain things. And but at this point in time in this fight, people are gonna see a lot of different things. I can't please everyone, and I'm not trying to. I never have, and I never will. You know, there's too many people in the world. There's millions of people in the world, and I can't please everyone. You show them everything, they're still gonna find some type of reason to degrade you and drag your name in the dirt. You know, you can't please people, especially those that would never ever get in this sport or never get in the ring. Period. You know, it's negative 0.001% of people in the whole entire world that are stepping in this ring. You know, and
Isaiah Felix was good,
how
man.
dare them have the audacity to talk about what you can and cannot do or what you should or shouldn't do when they'll never step in this position. You know, even with all my failures, a lot of them would never be able to accomplish it. So
yeah, I mean that's a very valid point. The armchair critics or the keyboard warriors, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, I just wanted, you mentioned that second fight, and we're going to see changes. I know I'm not going to go into all the, you know, obviously I know you didn't want it to end when it ended, but have you, first of all, when was the first time you were able to look back at that fight, and have you learned stuff from that? Are you going to do stuff differently?
I haven't really. I've seen different clips and stuff like that, and it's kind of hard to look at to see the circumstances that I was under. You know, when you know the truth, you know the truth. That's why I've been so calm and collective.
Y'all listen carefully what he says here next. Very important what he says here
about this whole process, because you know they say the truth shall set you free, and it's a true statement. You know, we know the facts, we know the truth, and but you know when I do look at it, if I see clips or whatever, like I always tell my team, I could have been, you know, when the mask came off me, I could have called it. When I didn't feel right when Chris took the mask off me, when you see my eyes looking crazy and looking like a zombie. You know, people have watched me over 5 years. They know how I act. They know how I look. And
man, I'm so glad that he said that. I'm so glad that he said that. Y'all remember, those who've been subscribed for a while, y'all remember the film study I did of the second fight, right? Y'all remember that. Still up on my channel right now. If you're new to the channel, you may have not seen my film study of the second fight. I implore you to go take some time out of your day or night these upcoming days and just go watch the film study that I did on that second fight. What are some of the key components and elements that we pointed out while doing that film study? From a very non-biased point of view, by the way. Everybody likes to say that film study was so biased, when all I did was break it down brick by brick to make sure that we don't miss anything. But what is one of the first things that I mentioned doing that film study? Deanna Branch can tell you. Deanna Branch can tell you she was in that live. Right when he took his mask off, I knew something wasn't right. A light bulb went off. He looks different. He's acting different. And when they were announcing Tyson Fury's name, Wilder was pacing back and forth, shaking his legs out constantly. Now, some people will say, well, fighters do that all the time. No big deal. But just to what Wilder just said right now, in his own words, not Divine Sense words, not 78 words, not Champside words, out of Deontay's own words, he said, people that have been watching me for the past 5 years or so, if not more, they know how I look. They know how I conduct myself. They know what type of energy I have as soon as I step through the ropes getting ready for a fight. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that something is not right. Now, the Fury fans who wanted Wilder to lose from the get-go, they're blinded by that, right? They're blinded by their own bias because they wanted Fury to win regardless, right? So they're not going to look at it that way. But I have sat down with people personally and walked through the film who are just boxing fans. They're not necessarily a Wilder or a Fury fan. And that's when you know, like Deontay said, the truth will set you free. If you have the opportunity just to sit down with a boxing fan who perhaps only watches big fights, don't really know that much about the ins and outs, they just want to watch a good fight, they'll tune in on a Saturday night. Not necessarily a fan of one or the other. Sit down with a person like that. Go over the second fight. Pause it here and there and say, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about the way Wilder looks? And watch how their mind starts to do some circles. They start pondering. They start, he doesn't look right. Doesn't look normal. And they don't have any affiliation with Deontay Wilder. They don't have any allegiance to the man. And that's why Deontay was saying the truth will set you free. And that's when I really know, when I started bringing people in that, like I said, are not a fan of either one of them, and they can see it because they're coming into it with a non-bias. See, that's the thing. But you know, if you watch the film study that I did, one of the first things that I mentioned is as soon as he took his mask off. I mentioned the sweating, the profuse sweating. And people laugh at that. Oh, come on, Devon. Fighters always sweat before a fight. Mike Tyson used to have a big sweat before a fight. Yeah, but that's Mike Tyson. You got to go back and look at Deontay's previous fights. He's never sweated like that, ever. But you see, you got to take the time. You got to take the energy to go through and look at it like I did. So I don't appreciate being criticized for the things that I pointed out when I've spent extensive amount of time on it. Not a real quick watch through of the second fight, and then all of a sudden, I've got my opinion. I formulated my opinion based off of extensive watch time of watching the second fight when all you did was skim through it. Excuse me. I find that disrespectful. But I'm so glad. Shout out to Justin McCoy. Shout out to Guru Grind said, I appreciate you. But I'm so glad Wilder put that out in this interview. If y'all been messing with me, man, for 5 years, if y'all know who I am, if y'all watch my fights, you guys know how I look. You guys know how I get down. You know going into a fight how I operate. We'll run the back one more time for the people in the back. They might be confused right now.
Set you free, and it's a true statement. You know, we know the facts, we know the truth, and but you know, when I do look at it, if I see clips or whatever, like I always tell my team, I could have been, you know, when the mask came off me, I could have called it. When I didn't feel right when Chris took the mask off me. When you see my eyes looking crazy and looking like a zombie, you know, people have watched me over 5.
My eyes looking crazy. I'm looking like a zombie. Soon as Chris took the mask off, I didn't feel right. I didn't feel right. Going back and watching the tape, he then verifies not only did I feel right, but I didn't look right either. Was it just in my head? I'm in a fight. I'm already in the ring. I can't back out now. And he said, to be honest, at that very moment, when the mask was removed and I stepped through those ropes and the way that I was feeling, I could have just called the fight right then and there because I knew this was going to be a long night because I wasn't myself. I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling sick. Let's put it that way. Not feeling good. I was feeling sick. I could have pulled out right then and there. Man, I'm trying not to rant and rave tonight. I'm saving that for Thursday night. I'm going to save that for Thursday night.
5 years. They know how I act. They know how I look. And that tells it all right there. You know, people know what their eyes have seen, no matter what they want to, put in their heads, but they know what the eyes have seen. And, it's fine with me. I can live with the truth. I'm one of the realest in the business. And I can live with the truth and I can accept the truth and move. And that's why I have moved forward. Allow me to make myself even better. I'm actually glad that it happened to me the way it happened to me. I showed that I was a true warrior. Even the circumstances that I was under, I still went along with. And I know who I am, but I wanted to see what type of man, what type of warrior would I be. He showed me his best, and he still couldn't. Even on my worst night, on his best night, he still couldn't get me out of there. So, people would try to label it as a knockout, but that's not a knockout. No, that's a stoppage because of a weak individual in my team that did something he was supposed to do, and that's throw in the towel. I ended the fight on my feet.
Yep.
It's a difference between a knockout and someone ending it on their feet, And I'm just looking forward to this time around.
And I know the Fury fans are cringing at that. They hate to hear that. As soon as you even hint at the idea that Mark Breland was a disloyal trainer, they cringe at that. But look, Mark Breland to decide, because it's just not the night. It's just not the night. But something more critical and something that you can't debate or dispute. For all you people out there saying that Tyson Fury knocked out Wilder, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. It was a stoppage by the towel being thrown in. And I don't want to hear none of this, oh, well, he would have got knocked out anyway. Or, oh, no, Kenny Bayless was about to step in and stop the fight anyway. And nobody trying to hear that. Nobody trying to hear that, man. Stop saying what you think would have happened. What we know is what happened. And Mark Breland threw in the towel, and the fight was stopped when Wilder was standing on his feet. So stop trying to twist words and say what ifs and it could have been or it would have been or it should have been. We don't got time for that. He wasn't knocked out. I know it hurts you to accept that. I know you're a little bit upset because you're really hoping for the knockout. You're really hoping and cheering for Fury to knock Wilder out cold. But it didn't happen. There's two main things that come into this third fight that if you're a Fury fan, I implore you to pay attention to. The first thing, what we do know is that Wilder knows that he can hurt Fury. And I don't want to hear none of this, oh, yeah, but Devon, that was back in 2018. Fury was coming back from depression and all these mental health issues. I don't give a shit about any of that. Fury is still Fury. He's always going to be Tyson Fury. And there's nothing about him where his chin has all of a sudden turned into granite. I'll repeat it and I'll say it one more time. What we do know is that Wilder and Fury knows that Wilder can put him on his backside. They both know this. By clean punches, let me say that again, by clean punches to the face and the chin, not some behind the ear bullshit. But I'll let you have that moment. I'll let you have that. Fury knocked down Wilder with the behind the head shot, I'll let you have that and knock him down with the body shot. I'll let you have that. But what I'm saying is clean shots to the face in the 12th round. So we know who holds and carries their power deep into a fight. How? On God's beautiful green earth, can you not at least open your mind to the possibilities of something not being right in the second fight? Wilder not having his legs after the first round. But the fight previous to that one. Wilder knocked Fury basically out in the 12th round. So how do you go 12 rounds as a heavyweight, carry power into the 12th round, put a dude on the backside, on his backside with a two-piece, straight right hand down the pipe and a left hook to the chin, but then you go into a fight afterwards and you don't have any legs after the first round? How does that not make any sense? How does that make any sense? I'm trying to save this for Thursday night. But I'm telling it just agitates me, man. It just agitates me beyond belief. And I want to set the record straight right now. Cuz there's a lot of people out there capping for certain channels out there, right? Who are trying to dismantle Divine Sense. It's happening right now as I'm making this video. It's happening right now at this very moment. I got haters coming out like crazy, partly because of the channel's success so quickly, and thanks to you, all the supporters and the subscribers and all the people that show the love and appreciation, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. So some of it is straight up hating. And other is they just don't like what I say. They hate the fact that I'm a Wilder fan. They hate the fact that I'm a Wilder fan and I just happen to be a white dude on here on YouTube talking boxing. There's so much behind it. And the haters are being uprooted by the dozens weekly against Divine Sense. I'm telling you right now, I've already seen it. So I want to say this. If you're a Fury fan and you think Fury's going to beat Wilder, I don't have a problem with you. I have zero problem with you. Now, you may come in here and say, oh, well, Devon, like I'm a Fury fan and I try to come to your channel a few times and make a comment about Fury and I was timed out. I was timed down and blocked by your moderators. Well, more than likely, you were saying a lot more than you think Fury's going to win the fight. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you crossed one of my wrenches on a bad day and they just weren't trying to listen to anything about Fury. Maybe. But you guys see this banner that is going across the bottom of this screen? There's my Instagram right there. I've had my email before I put my Instagram up. If you really wanted to be on the show and you really wanted to be a part of the conversation and you wanted to prove a point or whatever may have you, I am not hard to contact. I am not one of these channels who don't reply messages, who don't use social media, come on here and say what I want to say and don't let people get involved. So if you're going to run out there and be a crybaby, but you don't take the time to hit me up and say, yo, Divine. And somebody said in a comment not too long ago, say, oh, Divine only allows people that he verifies. You're damn right. You're damn right I don't let people on here unless they're verified. Because there's a lot of BS. I was going to say something else, but I'm trying to turn a new leaf. There's a lot of BS out there. A lot of trolls, a lot of racists, a lot of hatred out there in these YouTube streets. You damn well better believe they're going to be verified before they come on here and try to taint my channel that I've worked so hard to build and create. You're damn right. So if you want to be a part of the conversation and you haven't proven yourself right here in this chat, the only other option is email me or hit me up on IG and get vetted. That's right. If you don't like it, too bad. So, we can sit here all day long and go back and forth about what has been said over the past year in particular. But like I said, and I've been saying since I've created this channel, tick, tock, tick, tock. Can't run from time, baby. Can't run from time. Time is ticking, and October 9th, Saturday, is right around the corner. Let me also say this for the record, and it'll be stated on Thursday night when I go on the panel and debate these dudes who are Fury fans. It's going to be entertaining. I don't want to hear any excuses. And I'm going to make sure when I go on the panel on Thursday night that every single person on there, I'm going to say to them, I want you to say it for the record right now. When Wilder wins, I don't want to hear any excuses. Zero. Because you, as in all the people that are on that panel, more or less, have been taking so much time out of your YouTube episodes criticizing mainly LDBC channels. I mean, let's not mince words here and call it what it is. And I don't really necessarily consider myself part of the LDBC. I'm Divine Says Boxing, but let's call it what it is. You spent so much time and energy dismantling and trying to debunk and call us out for all the things, all the excuses, right? All the excuses we've made since the second fight. I don't want to hear any excuses from anybody on that side when Fury gets knocked the hell out. And I'm going to have everybody state it on record on their own platform. Yes, Divine, if Wilder wins, I will give him credit. And we'll see if they'll be men of their word. We'll see. Because it don't mean nothing to me. It means if Fury wins fair and square, no shenanigans by the referee, fair and square, I'll probably be one of the first ones on here and say, I was wrong. Because this is what I do. I talk boxing. Anything can happen in this sport. But if you expect me to be wishy-washy, to be like, oh, I want Wilder to win, but I don't know. Nah. I'm supremely confident. Supreme in capital letters. That Wilder is going to knock out Fury. And just FYI, since I've come on this channel, officially, my predictions are 4-0. And I plan to be 5-0 come October 9th. Yeah, Devon, let me help you. Hey, definitely. Like I said, I'm gonna drop the link. Just don't miss it, man. Y'all jump into the chat and jump in there because it's gonna be predominantly Fury fans. Like I can tell you right now. So if you have thick skin and you like to get involved in a heated debate, I know not everybody's built that way, but if you like to get involved in those type of things, jump in, man. Jump in. Because I guarantee you it's going to be me against everyone else. That I promise you. That I do promise you.
And I can't wait again.
Yeah, I mean, you've just obviously explained how you felt, but you know, you could imagine people over here are saying, well, what's the point of watching that fight? You know, Tyson beat in the last time fair and square. What's Deontay going to do? So what do you say to those people?
Hey, stay tuned. You watched then and you're going to watch now. So you'll see exactly what I'm going to do come October the 9th.
Okay. I won't keep you. I know you wait to do your things. You just got out of the shower. So just a couple more. Yeah. So
y'all look at Wilder's shoulders. You can tell he's put some like crazy work on building his shoulders, man. The dude is he looks in I'll probably say the best shape I've ever seen him. That's always easy to say, when they're about to fight or whatever, but it looks in tremendous shape at what is he, 35, 36 years old now? Like Wilder and I think Wilder might be a little bit older than me, but we're around the same age. And the dude looks incredible. Like I feel like I look pretty good as well for my age, but Wilder just looks incredible. Big shoulders, big chest. His traps are popping out. You can tell he's done a lot of neck exercises. And yeah, just wanted to point that out there because I feel like I got to coming from a guy who, you know, I do this for a living, training and doing strength and conditioning. So I notice these type of things.
You said, however long the fight lasts, from what I gather from that you don't think it's going to go the distance. Well, it's not going to go the distance.
It's not going to go the distance at all. I can't see this fight going the distance. Look, at the end of the day, we wanted way more than him, and I know for facts he haven't trained as hard as I've trained. He don't want it as bad as I want it, and for that reason, I cannot see this fight going long. This is the heavyweight division, and when people come out to watch the heavyweight division, they come to see knockouts, and they know when they come to see Deontay Wilder, they're gonna get just that, and I'm gonna deliver. Again, I can't wait.
Yeah, so that was it on that interview, guys. Again, I gotta give a shout out to Deontay for doing the interview with BT Sports. I would have never thought that he would go on that platform. Out of all the platforms out there, but he did. And so shout out to him, man. Yeah, so let me put this up because Dr. Hook has mentioned this a few times. When you guys have a chance, go and watch Champ Side's new video, The History of Tyson Fury's alleged cheating and glove scandal. So I put that up there for you, Dr. Hook, so everyone can see it. But yeah, what I want to do real quickly, for those who have been a part of the conversation since the very beginning of this live stream, I appreciate your endurance and staying a part of the conversation. I know a lot of people have just jumped in, so what I want to do is shift gears real quickly and just give some quick commentary on the grand arrivals of Tyson Fury and Wilder, and just skim through it and give some commentary on what they've said here. They're arriving in Vegas, as you can see. This is when the fight is right around the corner, man. I get goosebumps when we get this close to the fight. I start getting goosebumps, man. I start getting a little bit anxious. But I'm glad we're finally here. I'm glad to see Wilder and Fury's both in Vegas, and we're just right around the corner. All right, let's see what Wilder has to say on his grand arrival in Vegas.
It is great to see the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bronze Bomber himself, as he takes on Tyson Fury this Saturday night. Deontay, it is great to see you. We've seen the videos, we've seen the photos. You look in the best shape of your life. How are you feeling as you head into Saturday night's colossal matchup?
I feel great. I feel amazing. Like I said before, we done broke ourselves down. I'm rejuvenated, reinvented, and I'm ready to go. Saturday night is it's going to be a special night. I think the fans are in for a treat, as they always are when the Bronze Bombers step in the ring.
How much did you miss this atmosphere, because every time you fight, it's an electric atmosphere. It's wild, it's crazy, and you provide fireworks without a doubt. How much did you miss this?
I missed it a lot, but I think the time that we had off, I think it was well needed as well. To get the body back right, to spend a little bit more time with the family. The world went through something that we are all still.
Yo, before I continue this, man, I just noticed we have 168 people who have voted in the poll, now 170, but we only have 106 likes. Let's get these likes up, man. First thing you come in, jab that like button, get comfortable, be a part of the conversation. But if you haven't hit that like button, man, let's make that happen. I don't understand how we can have 170 votes. We have like a 60-person discrepancy when it comes from likes and votes. I understand we got haters and whatnot, but let's get those likes up, man. Let's go.
Going through together, and I think that was time we all needed with the family as well. We worked so hard. So many of us are always busy around the world, and I think a lot of the things was well needed. And here we are back again. God has given us ability to come here again and do it one more time. And it's nothing like boxing and having the fans in boxing. Some of the best fans in the world.
Your first fight with Tyson Fury was December of 2018. This is nearly a 3-year process of when you guys have been fighting against one another and dealing with promotional entities, et cetera, and all the contract negotiations. How excited are you to finally close the chapter on this book, in the sense that both you and him will move on after Saturday night?
Oh my God, it's been a long time coming, and I can't wait. It's going to be a special moment for me to get back in there and to show the people to reintroduce myself to the world, to show the people what I'm all about. Again.
We're like 4 days away from the fight. I understand why you wouldn't hit the like button. But look, man, those who have, I appreciate you. Shout out to Bruce Goes, man. It's always good to see you in the chat. Thanks for dropping by tonight. Christopher, what's good, my man?
And I'm very excited. Every time it's the week of the fight, is always the time where we're like, it's the hardest time because we have to wait. Sometimes we get confused what day of the week it is. We're always rushing ahead of the day. I'm like, it's just still Tuesday, or it's just still this and that, but it's
yeah, he's talking about how I mentioned earlier, how you get to fight week and the days just drag on, you know what I mean? You wake up Monday morning, you think it's Saturday, but it's not. And like I said, there's a lot of dead space in that final week. You're in Vegas, you're in your hotel, you're with your family, you're trying to eat, you're trying to rest up and get ready. And very interesting kind of insight to a fighter's life.
It's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to the night. Looking forward to the fans and the electrifying, the electricity that's going to be in the arena. All that I miss and coming out, seeing all my fans and on this one special night.
Part of that reintroduction is your new trainer, Malik Scott. I've known you for a long time, and I feel like this is the best spiritually and mentally that I've ever seen you over the course of over your 10 years as a prize fighter. Do you believe in that sentiment?
Most definitely. That's 100% correct. One thing about it, Ray, I have all my brothers around me. It's something that I never had before. They would come and go. This point in time, they all is with me. They've been with me from day one, from ever since the last outing to now, nonstop. We've been all together. And it's just been beautiful. When I tell people about that 4-letter word of love, we have that in this camp. And it's no other place or better place to be than around people that really, really loves you and that has your back, and they can look in your face and they say they love you and really, really mean it. Because there's a lot of people
That's a powerful word right there. Love. Very, very powerful word, man. I do believe that love overpowers evil anytime, every time. And when you have that much love and appreciation and respect amongst you and your people, those who are close to you, it goes a long, long way. And there's something behind the old saying that Jesus used to teach, which was, you know, somebody smacks your face, you turn and you give them the other cheek, because love is actually what kills in a way. As crazy as that sounds. You know, when you are shown hatred, but then you show love, people back down. You know, evil can't handle it. They can't take it. They can't, it's too much for them to digest. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that Wilder touched on this. So glad Wilder touched on this. And I'm not really religious, man, but I do believe in love. And I do believe in that teaching.
say they love you, they don't mean it. But when you know, when I have certain people around me and they tell me that, I don't have to worry. I have no doubts. And it's been a blessing to have so many amazing men around me, amazing women around me, and family all together. And this is what makes this moment even more special, because it's not for me, it's for everyone.
What does two-time heavyweight champion of the world mean to you?
Man, I think I can say a lot right now, but I think once it happens, I'm gonna have a different feeling. So I'm waiting on that feeling to see what it really gonna mean and what I'm really gonna feel. I'm an energy being, so I always react off of my energy.
I'm an energy being. That's what I've spoken about before when it comes to Deontay. He's a man of God. You know, he's proclaimed that on many occasions, but he's also a very spiritual being. As in, he understands and respects the universe and what it brings and how it interconnects with us in our everyday lives. That's a deep person right there. And when you have that type of depth, you see and understand the world differently than your average person. But that's a whole nother topic. Maybe I'll make a video about that one day.
So once I receive that, and have my hand raised in the sky, and they say two-time heavyweight champion of the world, I can tell you after.
My last question, I know you're big on visualization. I know you're big on manifesting things. On Saturday night, how you see the fight playing out with you and Tyson Fury in your third fight on pay-per-view?
I see me beating them up and then knocking them out. You know.
Y'all heard it, right? I see me beating them up and knocking them out. I appreciate that. I appreciate, you know, people say, oh, I appreciate Fury. He said he's going to come forward and knock out Wilder. And Wilder's not beating around the bush either. Wilder's not coming out saying, well, I hope I win and I'm going to do my best, which a lot of fighters say, right? He has the utmost confidence. I'm going to beat him up and I'm going to knock him out.
You know, many things that I visualized in the first fight, along with the second, you know, and I didn't execute game plan. But this time around,
Christopher, why do you say that? Why do you say he's going to get everything that he's got, but you're not sure if that's enough to beat Fury? Why?
It's just a different feeling, you know, all the way around, you know, just all the surrounding around me, the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying, just the energy as a whole, you know, and I'm looking forward to putting on a great performance come October the 9th, you know, and those that's going to be in the arena, they're going to feel the electricity that's in there, and those that can't make it, don't be afraid to click that button on Fox pay-per-view, baby. You don't want to miss it.
You better do it now, so says the Bronze Bomber. Now we're going to open up questions from the media real quick, Deontay. We got a couple of media members who have questions. If we go ahead, and by all means, go ahead and speak. Keith Ida, go ahead. Deontay, how you doing? How difficult of a decision was it for you to change?
Now he's got some questions from the media.
And can you tell us what went into that decision for you?
it wasn't a difficult situation at all. I changed trainers soon after the fight. That's how easy it was. And you know, the people that I have on my team, like I said, is filled with love. So we don't step on each other's toes. And if it's certain decision making that needs to be made, more game players, we're able to scramble around. And what works for us, we allow it to work for us. And so it wasn't no egos. We don't have big egos in our camp. And that's a special thing.
No egos, man. No egos in the camp. No beta male energy. Isn't that right, Deanna? No beta male energy in Deontay Wilder's camp. Shout out to my man, Guru Grind said, man, he comes out here, drops a little super chat for me, man. I appreciate you more than you know. He says, the Bronze Bomber is ready to go. I like your little avatar, man. That kind of sparks. That makes your $1.99 super chat like $10.99 just because of that avatar. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, so let's get into the media's questions. There's like a couple questions out here that make me cringe, which, you know, it happens.
About my camp, about my brotherhood that I have with my guys, that what don't fit with one person may fit with the other, and we still work together. If we disagree on something, within that same day we'll agree on it. You know, we'll come around, we'll make it work, and that's what makes us so special.
More questions. We have questions out front. Andres?
Deontay, working with Malik Scott, is it about reinvention or is it about refining the tools that you already have? So what I'm asking is, we're going to see a different version of you or just a better and more improved version of Deontay Wilder?
That's you know, I've always said I'm reinvented, I'm rejuvenated. You know, the thing about Malik, you know, he can. It's like
getting into the whole reinvention question again. He gets asked this all the time. I spoke about it earlier in this live stream, how it's not about reinventing and creating a new fighter. It's about bringing out what was already there and applying those skills more consistently.
I've been saying, it's nothing that he really taught me. It's something that is mostly what he can bring out of me that I've already had, something that I can do on a consistent basis.
Exactly.
You know, they say practice make perfect, and practice make permanent. So that's what we've been doing throughout this whole camps. And every time the fight been delayed, we had no problems. We sat back, we still smiled, you know, we still prayed together, ate together, and did everything together as a family. So, you know, over the time that allowed us to even more come closer together and work on the game plan that lies at hand. And here we are, October the 9th. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Got another question out here in front.
Hey, champ, it's Timmy Witherspoon. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you, do you think you have enough experience to fire and try to get a new trainer? I know you were searching for skills and try to make yourself better. Do you think like the management or somebody else should assist you?
What does that mean? Did you have enough experience to fire a trainer and then get a new trainer? What kind of question is that? What does experience have to do with understanding that you have somebody in your camp that you don't trust anymore? That's life experience. You don't need like experience as a fighter. Is that what he's asking? Is he asking Wilder, do you have enough life experience to recognize a snake in the garden? You don't need a snake to bite you once to understand that it's a snake. You understand what I'm saying? A snake is a snake. You see it in the garden, you get it the hell out of the garden any way, shape, or form you see fit. So it's just a weird question.
You and trying to find somebody that can help you. I know you knew Malik. He was your sparring partner, right?
He's
not really. Okay, but I'm just saying, do you think you had enough experience to find to get another trainer instead of you needed help to find it?
You maybe. Spit it out, bro. Damn.
You're saying you asked me, was I knowledgeable enough to find someone to be compatible for me to
because you changed trainers. What I'm trying to say, you changed trainers.
You changed trainers.
You needed to learn some different skills. So if you had to learn skills, do you think other people should assist you in picking the trainer?
It wasn't nothing I learned. Malik can bring the best out of me. It's what I've already had. We're making it happen on a consistent basis.
Well, Malik's been a part of your team for a long, long time. He's been around and really been instrumental with you as well. So it's not like you just went ahead and said, Malik, come on in, you're my lead trainer. He's been with you for a very long time.
I don't even know what the question was. I'm like, I listened to it. This is my second time listening to this, and I don't even know what the question. What was he asking? Do you have enough experience to fire a trainer and then bring in a new trainer? And then he was like, well, maybe, and maybe, and maybe, and maybe, and maybe. Well, you know, you got a new trainer now. Well, yeah, I got a new trainer now. So what? Damn, where did these people come from, man? Yeah, that was Witherspoon. That was Witherspoon. Oh my God, where did these people come from? Me and Watcher. Hey, Watcher, you and I, we're gonna get a press pass next time Wilder fights. We're gonna go ask some real questions. Me and the Watcher, we're gonna go roll up in there. I can't take this, man. These people asking these questions, man.
Long time. And the one thing about it that I think is helping you out is familiarity. He knows you. You guys know each other so well and you click together. And from an outsider's perspective, I'm seeing a chemistry and I'm seeing a love that I think will benefit you as you head into this third fight.
Most definitely. And, you know, the thing about it with trainer and fighter, you need a chemistry.
Pompey Fight Nation, what's good, man?
We can communicate without speaking, with our mouths. We understand each other. And what we have, a lot of trainers go a lifetime, you know, trying to build with the fighter. And we already have that coming in, so that's all. That right there already put us ahead of a lot of things. So, you know, like I said, my favorite saying is, "What's understood don't have to be explained." And
what's understood doesn't have to be explained. Hey, y'all stick around, man. Y'all stick around, because if you guys haven't seen the interviews here on the grand arrivals of Wilder Fury, stick around, because we're gonna get into what Fury said as well. I know a lot of you guys have been on here since I first went live. Like I said, I appreciate your endurance, but it's going to get even more spicier as Fury gets up on the stage.
October 9th, everything will be explained, and many people will understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Deontay, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure. The Bronx.
There's been a lot of explaining going on. A lot of explaining in regards to what Deontay is doing to prepare for this fight. But it'll all be on, if you're confused and you don't understand the explanation, it'll all be explained and understood, rather, on October 9th, this Saturday. So don't worry. If you're confused, you know, just wait a little bit, you know. It's like your mom trying to explain to you, you know, why you don't go in the backyard and do drugs, you know. You think it's a cool thing to do and you're a little bit confused, you know. You understand later why when you see the crackhead down the street acting the way he acts. So just be patient. What has been explained that for some people still isn't understood, it will be understood on October 9th.
Bomber, ladies and gentlemen, Deontay Wilder, an electric fighter without a doubt, with a knockout percentage of over 93%. As we bring up once again Christina Poncher. And Christina, I'll tell you this.
All right, so he's asking questions or answering questions from the media now, but you can't really hear him because it looks like Fight High, they don't got a proper mic, and Wilder's wearing a mask as well, so no idea what the questions are being asked. I'm going to go ahead and skip through this. If you guys want to hear the questions that were asked of Deontay Wilder by the media, y'all can check it out. Fight Hype's got it. Fight Hub's got it. Top Rank has got it up. Y'all can go check it out. But I'm going to jump to when Tyson Fury came on the stage.
Anthony Joshua, you know that guy.
100%. I think that's why both of them is pretty much or a brand new Deontay Wilder. He feels like it's going to
rewind it a little bit.
Christina, tell you.
All right, here comes Fury.
Let's go, champ. Mikey, what's up, Tyson? How are you?
Good. Are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for joining us here today. Finally, Fight Week. God, I feel like it's been forever to get to this point.
20 months in the making, so we're all glad we're here, and it's glad I brought a good British weather with me. Cold for Las Vegas.
You actually have a shirt, a vest on though this time. Now look, Deontay was up here earlier. Malik Scott, focused, ready to go. I know you don't pay attention to social media. You don't pay attention to what has been said.
Big dog,
but
good to
he
see
was
you, bro.
asked about if he was going to be a more refined or a brand new Deontay Wilder, and he feels like it's going to be the reintroduction of him. Do you?
Hey, let me pause this real quick because Big Dog just jumped into the chat. If you guys don't know, this is the interview with Tyson Fury in his grand arrival. And, him giving his thoughts or whatever. So we're just kind of giving some commentary. But on that note, I want to point something out because Big Dog Willie just joined the chat. Big Dog Willie knows exactly what's going to happen on Thursday night. Big Dog Willie happened to be part of the panel that I'm going to be a part of on Thursday night talking about Fury Wilder. So Big Dog can probably tell you how that panel can be at times and how it can get a little bit heated. And so, hey, Big Dog, man, I heard you on that panel. You know what I'm talking about. I heard you on that panel because I was in the comment section and I was listening. I hope you make it Thursday night. I hope you make it Thursday night, bro. That's all I'm going to say about that. For all the people just joining, I appreciate everybody dropping by and making sure that you hit that like button as you come in. As always, get those likes all the way up. We're just going to finish off this live by listening to Tyson Fury. And let's see what he has to say. Let's see what he has to say. Yo, Christopher. I keep seeing you say that Fury's gonna win this, that, whatever. Like that's fine, but I've like asked you why you think he's gonna win, and I haven't seen an answer from you, bro. So, look, man, don't make it easy for my wrenches to time you out. Like real talk. Don't make it easy for him. Like if you come in, if you think Fury's gonna win, let the people know. Don't just keep coming in here saying he might and low key this and low key. Nah, like look, bro. If you think Fury's gonna win, you got to come a little bit harder than that and let the people know why you feel the way you feel. You can't say that you're a Wilder fan, you're going for Wilder, but you keep saying low key Fury's gonna win. It's just a little bit of it's just counterproductive. All right, let's get into what Fury has to say.
Really, really feel that there's anything new in this amount of time that has passed that the world could see from him?
I think you could go to college and get a master's degree in nearly 2 years. So for a boxer to change his style, it's very easy to do. But no matter what Deontay Wilder does, I'm still going to knock him the fuck out. Let's go!
In how many rounds, Tyson?
Quick time, quick fashion. Let's go!
So get your beers and get in your seat quiet.
Like my trainer Sugar Hill says, we just bang, get it over with.
Now, let's talk about Sugar for a minute. You've had extended time now to prepare and work with him. How good was it for you guys to have a little bit, albeit...
I just don't know what to say to that. I mean, you're going to knock him the F out. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm speechless.
Because of COVID, once you were back in the gym, to just work on that rapport even more and on that power, like you said.
Yeah, it's been good. You know, we've had such a long time in the gym together. We've been on holiday, out. We've done so much stuff, Christine. It's been unbelievable. We chilled out in Vegas for quite a few months. We've been training the full time. Not had the fights, unfortunately, but COVID fucked up the world. So.
No, hold on. Let me pause this. Let me pause this. Look, I'm gonna try to end this live strong, man. Look, he brought up COVID again. Yes, I'm patting myself on the back of the head. This is how I relax myself. This is how look, he's bringing up COVID again. And for those of you who don't know, maybe you're out of the loop a little bit. He said that he got COVID twice, FYI. He said he got it like last year, and then he got it again leading up to the July 24th date. And I just find it a little bit funny that almost every single interview leading up to October 9th, he's wanted to make a point that he got COVID and it's unfortunate and this, that, and whatever. The reason why I find it funny is because Boxing Scene just released an article a few days ago saying that Tyson Fury never provided at any point from when he supposedly tested positive until now, never proved any evidence or proof of him actually testing positive for COVID-19. Now, here's the thing. Before Fury fans get all upset, okay, because I know what you're thinking. You're saying, because Wilder never provided any proof when he made the allegations against Fury. Hold your horses and let me explain. Fury is out here saying that he's basically apologizing for the fight being postponed, making us as boxing fans, it didn't really matter what side of the aisle you on, we all had to wait because he got COVID, even though we got it before, which, he got antibodies supposedly, but okay, maybe he got the Delta variant. Okay, we'll play devil's advocate here. We'll try to give him the benefit of the doubt. But he's the one that keeps bringing it up. Nobody's bringing it up. Nobody is literally bringing it up. You keep saying, oh, yeah, COVID got in the way, COVID got in the way, COVID got in the way. It's unfortunate, COVID got in the way. Why do you keep bringing it up when you've never provided proof for it, ever? Ever. Forget about Wilder fans. Forget about Divine Sense. Forget about us. Don't provide us the evidence. But damn, do it for your own fans at least. But you see, that's the thing. It's beating the drum. Bum, ba, bum, bum, Fury. Bum, ba, bum, bum, Fury. That's what he does. He beats his own drum and just talks all this silliness, and people just line up like sheep. Just line up like sheep. Like, oh, yeah, he's so cool, man. Yeah, Fury, man, he's so cool. Yeah, go, champ. And the man hasn't even provided one shred of evidence to his fans, the same ones who line up like sheep, to prove that he actually got COVID, even though he keeps bringing it up. People, am I making this stuff up? Seriously, am I making this stuff up? For real, man. He keeps bringing up COVID. I don't know. It just pisses me off. And I guess people say, well, that's how I feel, Divine, when people bring up the gloves. I get pissed off because there is no evidence of it. I get pissed off when water being spiked is brought up against Mark Breland. There's no evidence, and I get pissed off. Now you know how I feel, Divine. First off, Wilder himself hasn't said anything about no gloves, nothing about water for how many months now? Literally, how many months? I ain't talking about the media. I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. When was the last time Deontay Wilder said anything in specifics about gloves and or water being spiked? He hasn't said anything about it for several months. Why? Because he's already moved on. He's let it go. He's training. He got the fight that he wanted, which is the third fight, which was in the contract. I know Fury fans hate that. In the contract. And he hasn't said anything about the allegations. As a matter of fact, a lot of channels like myself, I can only speak for myself to be fair, but from what I've gathered, we're not even talking about the allegations anymore either. It's Fury fans that continue to bring it up. Beating a dead horse. You keep bringing it up. Why do you keep bringing it up? I don't understand. When your fighter, the man that you're supporting, couldn't even, the most easiest evidence that you can provide is a positive COVID-19 test. Am I right or am I right? Y'all get bent out of shape about, Wilder not showing evidence for spiked water, which, is something very serious that would take a lot of time and effort to compile the right evidence to bring forth in a court of law if that's what you wanted to do. And if Wilder wanted to sue Breedlove, that's what he would have to provide. And you can't provide a simple little piece of paper for Twitter saying that you got, you actually tested positive. Y'all can miss me with this shit, man. And I don't even talk about, the thing about it is, I've never co-signed any of it. I never co-signed nothing. I simply stated, and that's exactly why I repeat myself like a broken record, because people get confused and they get lost. That's exactly why I did the film study of the second fight. Don't take my word for it. Look at it for yourself. And if you don't want to take the time and energy to look at it, then that's on you. That's all I got to say about that. Another thing I want to say. Why does Fury, and this is just a personal preference, people like say, "Oh, Devon, get over it, man. It's a fight game. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants." Okay. Perhaps it's a personal preference. But I just don't understand why he's got to come up on the stage. Let me put it up here. All right. He's got to come up on the stage with his little vest on. He's wearing Elvis Presley pants. The ones that he wore at the press conference leading up to July 24th was, I think, probably about 1975. These pants are probably from 78, maybe 80. Got his vest on, got his little green belt, got his mask on. Thank you for wearing your mask, by the way, Fury. I appreciate that. You got COVID twice now. You probably don't have enough antibodies yet. You might have to get it a third time. But that's cool. I appreciate you wearing your mask. But I don't understand why you got to come up on here on the stage and just start dropping F-bombs left and right. F this, F that, this F and this and that. For what? Like, it's not like Wilder's up on the stage and you're going back and forth with Wilder and y'all talking shit. You got a woman interviewing you. You got a bunch of fans there cheering you on, and you got to go up there and just start dropping all these expletives. I mean, like I said, it's a personal thing for me. You're supposed to be the heavyweight champion of the world. You're supposed to mean something to people. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it too deep. Maybe I'm being too much of a spiritual warrior or something. The hate is already coming. Maybe someone will label me with something new. They'll make a new label for me criticizing Fury for dropping expletives in a very calm, cool, collected interview for the fans. Okay, but look, once again, I beg the question. What if Wilder goes up there? You all heard Wilder. We just played it like 10 minutes ago. He didn't say one expletive the whole time. Not one time. So my thing is like, what if Wilder gets up there, F Fury, F this, F that, and F and, blah, blah, would people feel the same way? Will people feel the same way about Wilder? They probably call him a street thug and a hooligan and want to be gangster and all these other kind of crazy shit that they've accused him of before when he went off on Radio Raheem. But I just find that ironic. And I just wanted to, I'm giving my commentary, and that's what I wanted to say.
Again about basically him not accepting the loss and there being a handful of other reasons about why you couldn't possibly won that fight. What do you say? What do you think about that mental fortitude to not actually accept what happened in the last fight?
It just shows you that I'm living in Wilder's mind rent-free the whole time, 2 years. Every time he looks in the mirror, he sees Tyson Fury. Every time he goes to bed, before he closes his eyes at night, he sees the Gypsy King. And everything he wakes up and thinks about in the morning, he thinks of Tyson Fury. Even when he goes to sleep at night with his missus, he's thinking of Tyson Fury. It's It's crazy. It must be crazy to be obsessed with a man like me. So much in his life that.
Y'all remember what I said earlier, right? In the previous interview that maybe you guys just joined, but a lot of you have been here since I first went live. Remember I pointed out when Wilder in his interview with BT Sports said that Fury always thinks about getting knocked down on his backside. And it's something that Fury will never forget. So they're both essentially saying that they're living in each other's minds rent-free. Wilder saying that Fury always thinks about the knockout, and Fury always saying that, oh, Wilder always thinks about me, when he goes to bed, when he's with his missus, when he's going to have lunch, he thinks about me. I'm living in his head rent-free. We're going to find out Saturday night how this whole living in the head rent-free actually plays out.
Crazy. It's just crazy. But, I've not
crazy.
Made too much of what he says, because this time I'm going to put a knuckle duster on each hand, and then I'm going to go into the fight. I might even put double knuckle dusters.
A couple egg weights extra.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I even bring like a steel.
Hold up. Time out. Can't
tell.
I'm going to put knuckle dusters in my gloves, a.k.a. brass knuckles, and I'm going to put egg weights in. But whatever. This dude's a clown. He can say what he wants to say, get people to chuckle, with your Elvis Presley pants and your Louis Vuitton belt here. Look, I don't have an issue with that because he is who he is, and I'm used to it by now. But who is this chick gassing him up? Who is this? She's like, you mean egg weights, right? Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and put egg weights in your gloves, Fury. You think it's funny, huh? Okay. It's a big joke. Just nothing but a big joke for a lot of these people, man. It's okay. 4 days to go.
Can't tell with the Gypsy King. I'm magic. I'm like Houdini.
Yeah, Houdini.
Let's go, champ.
Much of you said that this is not round 1 of the third fight, but instead round 20. For those people that were under a rock or have not watched either of the 2 fights or are still even on the fence about coming out to Las Vegas and joining us, what can they expect from the Gypsy King in round 20 of this third fight?
We're just going to get straight on the front foot, straight at him, and start trading straight away from round 1. Wilder's the biggest puncher in the history of our sport. But I've got the biggest balls in the history of our sport, as I've proved many, many times.
Time out. Wilder's the biggest puncher in the sport, but I have the biggest balls in the sport. That's what he just said. Okay, look. I don't know how big your balls are. And we could just hold like male ego stroking scenario here. But I don't know how big your balls are when you've tested positive for PEDs, when you have been suspected of other types of cheating allegations. And I always go back to, as much as people get upset about the allegations coming to the forefront, which I guess in a fair, unbiased mind, if you want to play neutral and you want to be unbiased and you want to say, oh, I'm upset at the fact that allegations were brought up, but there was never really any clear evidence and Wilder didn't take him to court because if he really did use egg weights and different things like that, he should have tried to sue Fury. See, I know you guys' MO, man. I know how you guys operate out here. I'm already 2 steps ahead of you. But it can be flipped quick time. Why didn't Fury try to then sue Wilder for defamation of character without providing evidence? The serious accusations, right? So it goes both ways, man. It goes both ways. Same thing for Mark Breland. He didn't, if anybody should have sued anybody, because we can say here and debate all day long about Wilder should have went after Fury should have went after Wilder in court, but these two men are fighters at the end of the day. They don't want to take it that way. They want to get in the ring and fight. Right? But if anybody should have sued anybody, Mark Breland should have sued Wilder. Like, real talk. Real talk. Breland should have sued Wilder for the things that Wilder accused Breland of doing. So look, it goes both ways. I'm just getting sick of it. Like, Wilder never provided evidence, but then nobody wanted to challenge the evidence. You can't say there was no evidence. You can say that the evidence wasn't proven accurate in a court of law because it never went to court. But you can't say there was no evidence brought forth at all. There's an immense amount of videos and photos still on the internet right now that's easily accessible, right? No problem. But it's like you can't have it both ways. At the end of the day, the two men are about to fight on Saturday. So all the accusations going left, right, down the middle, up, forward, backwards, doing backflips, and who's right or wrong, it don't matter. It'll be settled Saturday night. But like I said, if anybody's going to sue anybody, it should have been Mark Breland suing fucking Deontay Wilder. So I just kind of find it's a little bit silly for me when, you got him up here saying all, pounding his chest, talking about, I got the biggest balls in the sport. Okay. Yeah, I've always given him the benefit of the doubt when it comes to, I've always given him the benefit of the doubt when it comes to him being a man of pride and ego. We have a lot of people on here. I've been on the panel with Drew and Stormy B, man. They both think, well, I can't speak for Drew because I'm not 100% sure, but I know Stormy B thinks that he's going to have, or Wilder is going to make Fury submit. Beat him up and submit. Okay? I don't know what Drew, I think Drew, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me, I think Drew predicted like less than 5 or less than 6 knockout. But my thing is this. For me, I always try to give the Fury the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that he would quit on the stool. I don't think that if he gets knocked down and can get up and he won't get up, I won't go that far. I think that if he can get up, he'll try to get up. And I don't see him quitting. And I don't see the corner stopping it. That's just my personal opinion. But I guess it doesn't really matter because I already predicted that he's getting knocked out, which would defeat any reason to have to get up if you can, because you'll be asleep. But I've never questioned his balls or his courage. Because, to be fair, it took some courage to get two-pieced like the way he did in the 12th round of the first fight and get up, even though we can argue all day long on whether it was a long count or whatever, or Jack Reese gave him too long of an opportunity to recover. I won't get into that right now. But, he could have just laid there. He got up, okay. But I've never questioned his courage. But don't try to stand up on a hilltop, banging your chest like you're King Kong and you got the biggest gorilla balls in the sport when you've been suspect, my man. You've been suspect. But we'll see. We'll see Saturday night. Felix Garza says, like Larry Holmes said, all the talk is over. You can't call the cops. Yep.
It's going to be exciting, Wilder's a dynamite puncher, and, as we've seen over the last few months, we've seen the heavyweight landscape change so much. But I'm still on form. I'm still doing what I've got to do, and I'm the only undefeated world heavyweight champion left. The only one standing. Crazy.
I remember speaking to, this is a little bit of a throwback, but Andy Lee after he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And he said, when I hit Chavez Jr. with the hardest punch that I could hit him with, and he took it on the chin, continue to come forward. I was mentally broken in that fight. I knew from that point on it was over. You took 2 huge right hands from Deontay Wilder in the second fight. He floored you twice in the first fight, and you got back up. What does that do to a fighter mentally when you know you've taken pretty much everything he's had to offer and still won the fight?
You know, I've never experienced it because I've never actually, someone's never done that to me. But Wilder's still thinking about what happened in 2018. How the fuck did he get up in round 12 after being knocked out? It's like you hit a guy with your best shot, you knock him out, he gets back up, gets back into you, and then does exactly what he says he's going to do in the rematch, and takes me out, you know. So there's not much I can say. I'm not here to slate Deontay Wilder. He is what he is.
Oh, now.
Honestly, I think
Ha 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 ha
he's a real piece of shit. He's a real
Shut
piece
up.
of work. And nobody or
Stop
nothing
gassing
will
this
ever
man
change
up.
When we
If you want to get, I gotta say, man, if you want to get on your knees for this man, his wife is probably down there in the stage. You can ask for permission because this is getting sickening.
was first going to fight, I thought he was a decent man, like a family man, doing it for his kids and all that. But now I know he's a real piece of garbage, piece of rubbish. And I'm going to knock him spark out on Saturday night, and I cannot wait to get him in that ring.
You just said, I'm not here to slate the man. I'm not here to talk bad about the man. But then you go on to say he's garbage, he's rubbish, this, that, and whatever. See, contradiction. It's called contradiction, people. Contradiction and hypocrisy at its finest.
I can give him a good hiding, for sure. I might even take it slow with him. I might take it slow and punish him, make him say no mas.
Okay, a little no mas in there. All right, we're going to open it up for the fans, actually for the media to ask some questions. I know, come over here. Shall we dance, Tyson?
Shall we dance?
I would love to dance.
I'd love to dance with you.
Okay, you say.
I'd love to dance with you.
All right, we're gonna go.
Hey, Tyson, where's your wife at? Can I ask her if we can, do a little dance together?
Gareth has a question right here. Go ahead, Gareth.
Tyson, do you have to be at least a little cautious that he may have improved in the last 20 months under Malik Scott and Don Harris?
I'm really hoping he's improved because I'm here for a fight and I want a challenge. I didn't come all over America and be undefeated for 13 years not to get a challenge, Gareth. You know me. Harder the challenge, the better I fight. So hopefully he comes and I hope he's 50-60% better than he was last year or the year before.
He will be. Don't worry about that.
I don't need to get better because there's an old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we'll see. But I believe I've improved 40% than I was before. So if he hasn't, then he's in for a real beating for sure.
And finally,
Tyson, I don't think anybody's worried about Deontay and his training. Pretty much everybody, even the critics, know that Wilder has been training and has taken this very seriously. There's nobody that said that he doesn't look like he's in shape. Nobody said he doesn't look like he's ready. There may be people thinking that he may not win the fight, but there's nobody saying that he doesn't look ready and he's not prepared. On the contrary, there's a lot of people saying that you don't look ready, you look out of shape, you haven't been training, you were getting pieced up in sparring. So stop it.
He's American, but do you feel like the home fighter?
For sure. This is Las Vegas. I was built and born for this. Las Vegas is the home of the Gypsy King, for sure.
Look at the outfit. Is he not? Is he not ready for Las Vegas? All right, next question. Right over here.
Tyson, do you feel that this is a do or die fight for Deontay, a win and his career is done?
When I beat him this time, his career is over. Just like if AJ loses again to Usyk, his career is over too. So, yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about that, by the way. There's a lot of talk about, from his dad, Big Daddy John Fury, and, of course, Tyson, that, they're going to put Wilder in retirement. That's one of the things. There were little slogans here the past couple of weeks in particular. They're going to beat him up so badly that Wilder will never box again. It's a bit odd, considering that I think the opposite is a lot more likely. Even if Wilder were to lose this fight, he has a much higher likelihood of making a comeback and continuing his career. Fury, on the other hand, has a history of going into a depression state and snorting cocaine and ballooning up to 400 pounds. So you want to talk about mental fortitude. I think it's a bit disrespectful to assume that Wilder would just hang up his gloves because he lost a fight against you, the third fight. He'll be disappointed, of course. But to assume that you're going to put him in retirement just shows how much you truly have no respect for Wilder. And I think that's what's going to be Fury's demise. Simply put. Simply put. Wheelan Mitchell was good, man. Karma Boxing MMA was good. Isaiah B was good, my man. Thanks for dropping by tonight.
He really needs to win, but he ain't getting it, that's for sure.
Tyson, what weight are you planning on coming in at?
Oh, and by the way, I think that Fury loves this part of the fight game. I think Fury loves the most. Getting up here, getting on the mic, and wearing his little vest and his chain hanging low and talking to reporters and media. He loves this shit. More than I think he does fighting, to be completely honest. You can tell he loves it. He loves it.
And what advantage do you expect that to give you?
I'm going to come in at heavyweight, and you know, what do you think, Christina?
Like 270-ish, maybe?
No, you didn't say that before.
265 is what I said. It's all a guess.
Oh, I thought it was going to be 270.
But listen, it doesn't really matter what.
Oh my God, this chick is so cringe.
210 pounds, or it comes in at 310. It's really unimportant, you know. I recently watched a documentary on the great Sonny Liston, and they said he was the first of the real big men. He weighed 215 pounds and he was 6'1". So anybody can knock anybody out in any size. A little man can knock out a big man, as we've seen with David and Goliath all of years ago. So it's not really the size of the man, it's the fight within the individual, that's for sure.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you, Tyson, for your time. We really appreciate it.
That was quick.
That's it. Well, I'm sure they're gonna follow me back over here and ask me some more. Give it up for the Gypsy King. You're so welcome. The Gypsy King, your undefeated lineal and WBC.
All right, I think I've heard enough of her voice for one night. All right, so I just got word that Tay Jones is I'm not sure if you guys were hearing me there for a second. My computer was lagging a bit. So look, I can't listen to her voice anymore, and I wanted to give my commentary about what has been said at the grand arrivals from both fighters, Wilder's interview. So we've done that, 2 hours and 30 minutes of this live. For every single person who was here since the very beginning, man, your endurance is incredible. Staying a part of this conversation, leaving your commentary, and of course, hitting that like button. I appreciate you more than you know. I just got word that Tay Jones is now live talking about the referee. I'm very interested and curious to hear what Tay Jones has to say about that, because like I've said on many live before, on many different panels, that the ref in this fight is absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. More important than what I think a lot of people realize and understand. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead, make sure that you have already hit that like button. We got a lot of votes in the poll. All right. And the discrepancy is quite dissatisfying in the sense that we've got like 180, 90 votes, but only like 130 likes. That's obviously a lot of lurkers and a lot of haters behind the scenes. But if you're a part of the conversation and you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that. If you're new to the channel, Make sure you subscribe. Stay a part of the conversation. We'd love to have you a part of the family here on Divine Sense Boxing. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you guys with a real quick video to end the night, to hype up the fight just a little bit more. And while we go through this video, you guys know the drill. Go ahead, drop your predictions in the chat. Drop your predictions in the chat. Official members, drop your custom emojis. Let the people know who are watching behind the bushes how it's going to go down Saturday night. If the shit will play. Man, that's how they be doing me. Come on now.
In 2008, the Bronze Bomber has become a force in the heavyweight division.
Deontay Wilder is one of the hardest hitters in the history of heavyweight boxing and the former heavyweight champion.
The easiest way to define Deontay Wilder to me is he's the former heavyweight champion of the world who still possesses the single best weapon in all of boxing, a right hand that's made of TNT.
They call him the Bronze Bomber, 6'7". All he needs is 2 seconds to land that big right hand, and he's done that successfully throughout his career, except the 2 big blemishes, the draw and the loss to Tyson Fury.
Deontay Wilder is a time bomb, a wrecking ball who believes everything he says, no matter how bizarre it sounds.
Deontay Wilder's had such great success early on. He had knocked everybody out. It's hard to grow up in that kind of surroundings. It's hard to mature as a fighter when you've had nothing but such success early on that you feel like you're unbeatable.
Watching him in the beginning, it was almost like Mike Tyson, but a 6'7" Mike Tyson who is not really fighting you up close. He's throwing punches from 2-3 blocks away because he has an 83-inch reach. And he's that explosive.
Since turning pro in 2008, the Bronze Bomber